everyone, it's Tyrone from tyroneshum.com. Welcome to another podcast interview that I've got on today. I've got a special guest who's all the way from Las Vegas, and I wanted to get this special guest on the line today to share with you her story and also to give you a little bit of background what she does and to also let her share her story about her lifestyle too, so that you can get an idea of what she's up to. The special guest I've got today on the call is Maren Kate. So welcome to the call, Maren.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going today for you?
Very good.
Excellent. Well, I thought for the listeners who are new to the call and also don't know who you are, maybe let's just talk firstly about your blog and talk about how you came about setting up your blog called Escaping the 9 to 5.
Okay, well, I set up Escaping the 9 to 5 when I got out. I had just gotten done with school, and I was looking around at what I could do with my illustrious English literature degree, and I realized that there was nothing that suited me. I have always, since I was little, wanted to have freedom that comes with financial stability and that comes with having a good income stream. And I realized that if I just did something that followed after what I did in college, I would never have that. So I decided to start experimenting with different forms of entrepreneurship. And I started my blog to kind of track that process. And ever since then, I've just followed the different forays that I go down kind of along my entrepreneur's path. And now that I'm involved with my newest startup and I'm putting a ton into that, it focuses on that. It focuses on how to live a more fulfilling lifestyle by kind of cutting down on the things you don't need and spending on the things you do, stuff like that.
That's really cool. It's really interesting because I know that there's a few entrepreneurs out there that I know, personal friends like Pat Flynn and Yaris Durak, and a lot of time they start up their blogs because they wanted to track their journey of their success, and they've got another business that's on the side, or full-time business, but their blog's sort of their side kind of thing. And then, interestingly enough, their blog becomes an income that is an additional stream to them. Is that what's happened for you so far?
Yeah, it definitely has. I know Pat. He and I are in the same mastermind group together. And I always would kind of watch how he did with his blog while I was trying different businesses. And he kind of knew what to do and just did it, knew how to get things done. Me, my approach was a lot more spastic. And I was just happy typing away. And then one day I finally kind of got one of my virtual assistants to install some stuff to track our page views and stuff. And I learned about Alexa rankings and all these different things that I should have known about when I started. And I realized that there was a lot more readers than I thought. I had always been writing it more or less for myself and kind of as like an online journal. So maybe a year after it started, I've finally gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, wow, I could really monetize this. I've never done it to this point because I've always been busy with other businesses, but I think I'm going to, as even just a test, start to look at different ways because I get checks from affiliates that I kind of, put up and don't think about. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's surprisingly simple. So it seems like something I should continue to pursue.
Yeah, I think if you just do it as a passion and you're right and you just talk about it, people have a tendency just to click on those links and just go, okay, I really want to check it out. And in the end, you let the other affiliates do the promoting for you, really. Mm-hmm. And it's just a simpler recommendation. That's how I've done the same as well, is just simply putting a post up, putting a link on the bottom, say, hey, check it out. This is a really good tool or piece of software. If you're interested, just, buy it or see and test trial it. And for no host, you kind of get the affiliate commissions coming in. So it's a nice little treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming back to maybe a story, then before you started up with Escaping 9 to 5, I think on your blog, you've mentioned you've also done started up a few different businesses. Maybe we'll take a step back and share your story about some of those things as well. I'd love to learn about how those all started.
Well, when I was in college, I decided to make money on the side by selling antique jewelry on eBay. And I grew it to the point where it was a, $5,000-$6,000 a month income stream, which was great, but I was literally working 10 hours a day because every different item was unique.
Mm.
So it was a ridiculous amount of work. There were all these customer service hassles. There's just a lot of problems. And when I started learning about internet business and the idea of kind of mobile entrepreneurship, I thought, screw it, I'm not going to do that myself. I'll try to teach people how to do it. The problem was I didn't have any experience in how to kind of build a community. So I started a few websites trying to teach people how to sell stuff on eBay, not realizing that that's a hugely overpopulated niche. And I just kind of went guns blazing, lost a bunch of money on that, and then finally ended up selling that website because I was just like, this. I didn't realize that just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy teaching other people how to be good at it. Because I really, really hated that website. I hated writing blog posts for it. I don't like selling on eBay. It makes money, but I'm not a fan of it. So that was my first business. From there, I did a few different social media businesses, and progressively those did better and better. To right now, I have a high-end social media consultancy firm. I take on a specific number of high-profile clients, and my team does all of their social media. And I also go into businesses and do consulting to teach them how their own employees can build up a strong social media presence.
Okay. Touching on that, just curious as well, for people who are just also interested in social media, what are some of the things that you've done for clients there in terms of that business?
Um, I've One example is one of my clients is I think right now they're the number one TV show on cable in the US, and it's called the Pawn Stars. They're like a History Channel show. They're really awesome. The guys are great. And I've got to do all these fun campaigns where we'll give away swag or we'll offer a lunch with the people that are the stars of this TV show, or we'll do like a Foursquare scavenger hunt. All these different interactive things that allows their fan base to connect with them. So let's say, maybe a big company has 100,000 fans. They might get 1% of that fan base that actually interacts. We have about 90% of the fan base that on a
Wow.
monthly basis interacts at least 2 times. So it's pretty insane.
Yeah. That's amazing. But the thing is, how did you get into something like that? Where would that lead to? It's like,
I met the manager who managed the show. I met him at a bar one night, and he was talking about a business that he was doing, and he was talking about how big the marketing budget was, or something like that. And I was saying, you shouldn't be doing traditional marketing, you should be doing social media. We actually got into an argument about it. And then the next day he called me and was like, hey, I have some clients you should come and talk to. They need social media. So it's one of those things where it just totally fell into my lap. But I really enjoyed it, and I still do. But I'm focusing on more scalable, lifestyle centric businesses, because one thing about consulting and social media marketing, you're very much involved. Like
mm,
I don't want other people touching my clients because I don't want them messing it up or interrupting the flow that I've got going. So now I'm focusing, as much as I love that, more on a business that can scale and be its own entity without me.
absolutely. And that's where lifestyle entrepreneur comes into play. And I guess that's where you currently at with that in terms of, yeah, lifestyle entrepreneur and having a separate entity, as you said.
Well, right now, the business I'm currently working on is really, really close to its soft launch, and it's called Virtual Zeta. And the entire business model was built behind, I've worked with outsourcers from the very beginning because I had no tech background. I couldn't even upload a WordPress theme. So I had to rely on other people. And I've gone through many of them because it's very hard to find good virtual workers, since just like with internet marketing, there's some parts that are oversaturated with poor quality.
Mm,
And what makes it unfortunate is that you see so much poor quality that you think everything's poor quality. Thankfully, I did a lot of research and spent a lot of time, and I found a few incredibly good virtual workers that I added to my team. And these people have worked with me for a long time, and they're excellent, and they're incredibly affordable. Affordable to people wouldn't believe me if I told them. And what I started to realize was that there are maybe, 30% of all the virtual workers, virtual assistants out there are beyond excellent. They're comparable to anyone you'd get in your country. But they get drowned out by the 70% that have maybe, 30 minutes of experience, are willing to underbid them to ridiculous, unlivable amounts. They just get drowned out. So what we're doing is we're creating a job board and a job placement service for virtual workers and for employers where we only allow in the best of the best. And because that, employers can rest assured that they'll deal with excellent virtual workers. Because I believe that outsourcing is going to, in the next 10 years, it's going to change the entire face of business.
I absolutely agree with you on that one because talking about outsourcing all the time to members and my subscriber list, they believe that outsourcing is going to change the world. And I've seen it firsthand myself, and I've seen it through my students and members as well. And obviously you do a lot of it as well in your own business. So it really brings and ties the other side of the world together, allowing us to be able to leverage and also get our things done much faster as well, because I don't know how I could run my business without them.
No, not at all. And that's amazing. You talk to people who are incredibly successful in blogging or business or internet business, and you talk about outsourcing or virtual workers, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I've always done it myself. And I'm just thinking, you've reached this level of success just doing it yourself. Now imagine having only to work only 2 of those 8 hours a day, having somebody else do the other 6, multiplying your time and productivity. Like, it's like copying yourself. That's what the example I always give. And if done right, it can be a godsend. If done wrong, it can be hell on earth.
It's like a double-edged sword. It can go either way.
Very simple.
Oh, that's amazing. So at this point in time, yeah, well, what kind of, let's say, looking at your business currently and where you're at this point in time, maybe describe what's your lifestyle like at this point in time.
Because I'm in the middle of a startup, my lifestyle is kind of hectic, but it's also, I do what I want to do. So Thursday and Friday, I was feeling sick, and then finally when I got over my sickness, I was just like, you know what, I need to just spend a few days in nature. I went out, I walked, I bike rode, I went swimming, and it was just cathartic. Something that somebody who was in a 9-to-5 job couldn't do. I've been contemplating picking up and going to Rome for a month just for kicks because I just want to get out of the country. And there's just different things. If I decide one day I don't want to work, I don't have to. My business pretty much runs itself. But the other side of the coin is that I really love what I do. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm actually psyched about getting my tea and going on the computer and working. Like, I really, truly enjoy it. So it doesn't feel like work for me. I don't want to only have to work 4 hours a week since I really enjoy what I do.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that if you enjoy what you do, it doesn't even feel like work at all. It's part of your lifestyle, which is what it's all about. Is you do the things that you love to do, and it becomes as a hobby or things that you enjoy as well.